Hello YouTubers, welcome to today's tutorial. And today I want to give a tutorial that I believe is going to help somebody outside there, especially those who are just beginning to play the keyboard or those who have just started to play the keyboard. In fact, our tutorial today is going to be explaining an area that nobody dares to talk about in YouTube. The YouTubers, the content creators go on creating content, posting content for those who are beginning, for the intermediates, and even, of course, sometimes sharing good information that can help the advanced players to do that. But how I wished that somebody told me this when I was just starting to learn how to play the piano. I wish somebody shared this piece of information with me. And because it was never given to me at the start when I was starting, I felt it wise that today I talk about it so that it can help out somebody there who wants to start or who have just started. Now, today we are talking about when are you supposed to start using the YouTube to learn the piano? Of course, with the developmental techniques, the advancements in technology, there is quite more than enough pieces of information on the YouTube. You want to start playing or you want to play, of course, at the click of the button of that particular computer or that phone, you're already into a vast land of information regarding on how to play the piano. But I'm taking my time today to talk about this area because when actually, or after how long, when you've started to learn the piano, are you supposed now to go to the YouTube and the pieces of information in the YouTube be of help to you as you learn how to play the piano keyboard? And remember, when you just click onto YouTube, I want to learn the piano, you'll get millions and millions of tutorials. And these are covering on areas like the chords, the voicings, the drop tools, the scales, the progressions, the reharmonizations, and all those complex stuff. Name them. You are a beginner, you want to start playing, you go in, you even click on, basic tutorials regarding what the beginners are supposed to be learning on the keyboard. And the pieces of information you meet are at some content level, which you realize can end up confusing you instead of helping you to learn. Because there is actually a lot that goes on at the beginning, at the introductory stage when you want to learn the keyboard. So in this particular tutorial, I'm going to try and highlight two very important areas. And I'm also going to try to answer these two pertinent questions. The first one is, when should you start visiting the YouTube or after learning what particular concept? Then I'll also answer the question, what is the amount of time that you need when you are learning to play the keyboard as a beginner? And when I talk of a beginner, I mean that person who is either starting to struggle to do the basic scales, or somebody struggling with the chordings. All this demonstration, I'm doing them in key C for simplicity. You are doing the chords, maybe you are even learning the inversions. That is a beginner, and I will consider that maybe you have now gone beyond being a beginner when you've mastered maybe how to do that basic, form your basic chords in all the 12 keys. That is all the way. You've learned how to practice all those 12 scales, I mean the major scales, and you can also do the major triads, the minor triads in all the 12 keys. Then you can also do their inversions, the first, second inversions, and as well as the chords in their root position. At that particular time, I'll consider that you are now done with the beginner. So it means that even if you have already started but you have not reached that particular level, you are still beginning to play the keyboard. And therefore, this particular tutorial is still very, very significant for you. So in the second question that I'm going to be answering in this particular tutorial today is after how long in terms of time? Is it weeks? Is it hours? Is it days, or is it months? Now, to begin with, the first question that I asked, when should you start visiting the YouTube? Because ideally, so to speak, YouTube is the most important place that you can go there and at your fingertips, you get the information, and you also even get illustration and even detailed things than you even asked for. YouTube is really good for learning the play of piano. But I'm taking this tip here to expose those who want to use the YouTube, that when are you supposed to go there and start? And as I said, with the numerous pieces of information, the knowledge, some are at a higher skill set level, some are at low skill set level, with varied techniques, some are advanced, some are just intermediate, and some are at the beginner stage. Point number one, I want to state categorically that you are supposed to start visiting the YouTube after you have learned the following. And of course, I'm also going to tell you where are you supposed to learn them. Because I'm saying, well, YouTube is good, but not so fast. My viewer, my learner over there following this tutorial, YouTube is the best place. But wait a minute. Don't just go there yet when you are starting to learn the keyboard. Because in my view, for YouTube to be helpful to you as a tool in learning the piano, you should go to the YouTube once you've learned your major scales. In all the 12 keys, you have done all of them in all the 12 keys, and you can do them comfortably with both hands. Meaning by the time you are there, you shall have mastered almost all the scales. And then the next thing that you must have mastered is how to do your triads in root positions, and then how to do their inversions also in all the 12 keys. And that is going to bring us to the answer to the next question, just how long in terms of time. And then finally, you're supposed to, in terms of scale, learn the major scale and then the relative minor scales. That is at the start, at the basic level. Then you learn how to form the chords, very important, and how to invert the chords. And when you do this, you move in all the 12 keys so that you master the shape of the triads. And with just practicing, once you've learned how to form them, then you master their shape. And you do that slowly in all your 12 keys until you know them. Once you are good with the formation of chords and the inversions, and you've also learned the simple chord progression, we call them the common chord progressions, then I think at that particular time, now when you go into YouTube and you click that you want a piece of information, it is going to be of help to you. And now that brings me to the answer to the final question that I raised in this particular tutorial when I was starting that. Now, after, where are you supposed to learn this? Because we're saying not yet. You are not yet ripe for YouTube, yes. You go to YouTube, you'll get information that will just confuse you. Remember I said I wish that somebody told me all these pieces of information when I was starting. I could have moved faster and I could have learned more professionally and more accurately than I did. But now, that calls for who or where are you supposed to learn them? It is not the social media. It is not the YouTube channels. It is not on TikTok. It is not on Instagram or on Facebook. But it is my feeling, though you can also have a different view as a piano learner, that when you want to start learning the keyboard, you need a teacher. In fact, a human teacher, whether you are in a school of music or you decide to go and hire just a private expert who is a player to take you through the basic contents that I'm talking about here. So in most cases, you'll find that you can enroll in a music school just to do that introductory part, or you can look for a teacher privately if you don't go to a school. Maybe a school is expensive. Alternatively, you can look for a professional who is already playing because they know this journey, they went through it, they know what. So when you have such a professional teacher, this professional teacher will not only tell you to play, but this teacher will help you to know what to start learning. He will also help you on how to learn what you are learning, or rather, how do you practice what you are learning? what we are calling the technique. This teacher will tell you, for how long are you supposed to learn this? And what concept are you supposed to learn next? The teacher or the professional that you've contacted will actually tell you, when is it ripe now to move forward and go to the next skill level so that you can continue your learning. Like, for instance, when you are doing your skills, you'll find that the professional teacher here, whether in a school or just hired privately, will tell you, when are you now good? When do we consider that you've already mastered your skills and you're supposed to start forming your chords? And once you've started forming your chords and you're practicing them, the same teacher will now tell you that now it is ripe to go to this particular skill level. So I advocate for you looking for somebody who will actually take you through the rubrics or the rudiments of piano playing, so that from the word go you have the right skill set, and this will make your movement to other levels to be so much very, very fast. And now, when you've got a professional or a teacher guiding you at this stage, it cannot be so expensive, depending on how you agree. But the knowledge that this person will give you will be very, very valuable, because this teacher will even be telling you, how do you evaluate your mastery of a particular level at the start? How do you evaluate, or how do you measure your progress? How do you measure that you are now good at skills? He will tell you the exact point. How are you to know that you're already good on your chords? When do you consider yourself to have mastered the chord inversions, for instance? So remember, I highlighted three things here, that you have to do the scales, and I said the major scale and the relative minor scales. You must do the chords formation, and this one is at the triad level. The major triads, the minor triads, the augmented triads, and the diminished triads. You are supposed to do this, and of course, the dominant 7 chord at this elementary stage. Once you've done that, you are now ripe and very mature to go and start getting that numerous pieces of information that is available on YouTube. So I want to believe that this particular tutorial was of help to somebody there. Whether you are planning to start learning the piano or you have already started and you are still in the class that I mentioned to be covering the beginners here, I would wish that you can suspend visiting the YouTube and then just on the background, behind the scenes, with somebody who is guiding you. Can you work on the scales, work on the formation of the chords, the triads in their root position, and work on the inversions, and of course the simple progressions? Once you've done all that, now you can come back to the YouTube, and you'll get the YouTube as a very, very important tool for you to use. Now that is what I wanted us to share today. And if you've got some value in this particular tutorial and in the pieces of information that I've tried to share out, then please like this video. You can share it, and don't fail to subscribe to my channel, because in this particular channel, my major focus is to help you move your piano playing to the next level. Whether you're just starting or you have already started at all level, our objective is to lift you into some greater level. Do tune in here for more tutorial where various concepts in piano play are highlighted and are explained in very great details. Bye bye. That is all we had today. Let's meet in the next tutorial.